It's the preseason, but we got some highlights, Eagles fans. Opening series, we saw the ones. Jalen Hurts finds Quez Watkins and then caps off the 7-play, 80-yard drive with a touchdown to Dallas Goedert. And then the first-team defense, they had an answer. Linebacker Kyzir White, welcome to Philly, picking off Zach Wilson. And then the offense answered with a 1-yard touchdown run by Jason Huntley. Welcome to the Postgame Show, presented by Ricoh. I'm Gabriella DiGiovanni, joined by Fran Duffy and Ike Reese. We saw the ones in those two opening drives from the offense and the defense knock some of the rust off, and then they were done for the rest of the day. But what can you say about that opening drive?
Well, I like the fact that we were able to come away with points, right? You know, you've been working all preseason. You get a chance to go out there against a different color jersey, and you want to execute. And I thought the offense went out there. Jalen Hurts was flawless on their drive. You don't want to see him take a hit. That was a late hit out of bounds, but he was able to bounce back from that. And I thought he commanded the offense. He looked poised in the pocket. Even when he got flushed out of the pocket, he still was able to keep his eyes downfield, find Quez Watkins. I like the command that Jalen Hurts showed tonight with the offense.
And then even on the other side of the football, the first-team defense coming out, and obviously it's capped off with that interception by Kyzir White, but you had 3 plays that were stopped for no gain. You had a 3rd and long where Josh Sweat drew what was clearly a holding penalty by the left tackle. So you look at the way the first-team defense came out, they were sharp. You have to be happy if you're an Eagles fan walking away with the way the starters played here in this football game.
We welcome in Eagles insider Dave Spadaro, who joins us from Lincoln Financial Field. Dave, in the kickoff show, you and I talked a lot about Cam Jurgens and what the workload was going to look like for him tonight as a rookie, but also replacing Jason Kelce right now. What did you see from him tonight?
Everything. An incredibly athletic player who finishes off his blocks really well, who understands what he's looking at. He's obviously, look, I mean, they didn't really spend a lot of time studying what the Jets were going to do, so it was kind of immediate reaction and then go. And Cam Jurgens, the moment was not too big for him in any way, shape, or form. I thought he did a terrific job. You understand why the Eagles are so high on Cam Jurgens. Terrific job in a really tough spot. I mean, let's be honest here. Didn't get a ton of reps in training camp with the ones. Didn't study much on the Jets at all here, and he came out and played really physical football, smart football, athletic football. Everything the Eagles saw in him, and that's why they drafted him in round number 2.
You just started breaking down that opening drive with the first-team offense. You were on the sidelines, Dave. What did you see? It was very crisp, very focused. Jalen Hurts was perfect in the passing game.
Yeah, and he did it in a lot of ways. And the word that Ike used, command, that's what Nick Sirianni told me coming off the field going into halftime, that he really took command of the offense and really hurt the Jets in a variety of ways. And you know, this is year 2 of this offense. We see now a little bit more about what it means to be in an offense for a second consecutive season for the first time since he was in his high school career playing for his father. Jalen Hurts is so much more advanced than he was last season, and we saw that on the first drive.
That was Eagles insider Dave Spadaro. Dave, thanks so much for your time.
All right, guys, enjoy.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the rookies. We started with the Cam Jurgens conversation. On the other side of the football, Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, Ike, they're like the 1-2 punch.
Yeah, and everybody's excited about watching these young guys play. They played on arguably the best defense college football has seen in the last 20 years. And we got the 2 best players off of that defense when you think about Jordan Davis, the anchor in the middle of it, and then Nakobe Dean, the quarterback, and really the spirit and the heart of that defense. And getting a chance to watch him play tonight, the thing I loved about Nakobe Dean is that he found his way to the football. As a linebacker, you have to be a magnet to that pigskin. And Nakobe Dean got a chance to get out there and hit some people tonight. And Jordan Davis, my goodness, anytime you see big man out there on the field, he is moving bodies around. There won't be very many times he doesn't see 2 blockers on him. So sometimes you have to almost quantify what he's doing out there on the field, not by his stats numbers, but what others are doing around him. He's going to free up a lot of room for linebackers and his other defensive line mates to make plays.
It's got to make you feel good as a linebacker when you have a guy like that out in front.
Yes.
To me, like watching Jordan Davis, there are a few snaps where you watch him and he immediately changes the line of scrimmage because instant knockback against the opposing offensive lineman. He did it against centers. He did it against guards here tonight. Just really, really impressive. He was impactful against the run, against the pass. He's chasing plays out towards the sideline. And then Nakobe Dean, there was a play that showed up in the game in the second quarter where a tight end came into the hole as a lead blocker, and Dean stoned him at the line of scrimmage. It ended up being a tackle by one of his teammates, Ella, but you got to see the physicality from those two Georgia Bulldogs in this game.
We've been talking a lot about the rookies, but how about some of the new faces here in Philadelphia? Kyzir White coming up big with that interception. Ike, the way he saw that play unfold, is that just his experience? Because he read it, right on.
Yeah, you can definitely see where he's an instinctual linebacker. And I got a chance to watch Fran break down, Kyzir's play out there with the Chargers. And you saw it right there in the first game. I didn't get a chance to see him much in practice when I was out there, but watching him out here in this preseason game, he just seems natural with his movement. He read the eyes of Zach Wilson, jumped right in that passing lane. But here's the thing you understand about him. He understands down and distance and where you're trying to beat the defense at. He jumped that tight end route. Great hands, great athlete. I think we're going to have a lot of fun watching Kyzir White play linebacker.
He had 2 picks last year against Lamar Jackson in the middle of the field, zone coverage, very similar to that play where he read Lamar Jackson's eyes and followed them to the football, was able to finish for big plays. And keep in mind, Kyzir White, he was essentially a safety at West Virginia. He played almost like a nickel corner, and they transitioned him to linebacker. So this is a guy that is used to playing in space, used to making plays from sideline to sideline. Eagles have to be excited about what they saw from the new linebacker here, the free agent addition this offseason.
Let's go in the trenches a little bit. The offensive line, after the starters got out of there, we saw a bunch of different combinations. Fran and I talked a lot on the kickoff show, the depth in the offensive line room, but how beneficial it is to have that type of depth. Isaac Seumalo making his return tonight. What do you think about this offensive line as we get ready for the season?
Well, the one thing I've known since I got drafted here in 1998, the Philadelphia Eagles put a premium on the offensive line. They're going to invest in it through high draft capital and free agency. My old teammate John Runyon, who they brought here, they understand the importance of what the big guys mean up front to everything you do offensively. And the thing that I love about our young players with Jeff Stoutland as the coach, these guys at times have gotten experience out there with an injury or what have you, but the coaching that they get and the fact that they're prepared, I feel very positive moving forward. I know we got a couple guys on the line with just a little bit longer than 2, but we are pretty much young up front, and it's going to be served well for us.
Dave talked about Cam Jurgens and his performance, and you can't help but be impressed with what he did. I cannot wait to go back and watch the film and see what the rookie looked like out in the move. Ross Tucker did a great job of highlighting some of those plays on the broadcast, but you got to see him out in space doing what he does best. It's something that he did at a high level at Nebraska.
And you have to remember, he got to Nebraska as a tight end recruit. Yep. So you see some of that speed and why he was recruited to be a tight end in the first place. But once he beefed up and he had some experience on the line, now you're kind of seeing why Scott Frost thought maybe it was a good idea to put him on the line. Fran, from your perspective, watching so much college film, how can that be beneficial sometimes when you have a guy come in for a certain position and a coach says, hold on a minute, I think I see you playing somewhere better?
Well, it's almost similar to like when you get a Jordan Mailata who had not played a lot of football at all. They don't have any bad habits to break, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's a big thing is when you see a guy that's new to a position, certainly, there's raw. There's going to be some development there. He's not going to be the most fine-tuned at everything, but also that's kind of a moldable ball of clay that you can work with.
You mentioned a little bit, about what we're seeing from these defenses. We were talking before the show began about the mixing and matching up front on the defense. What do you think JG is going to work through the next few weeks when he's really trying to hone in on the players he has, their skill sets, and utilizing to the best of his ability?
You pretty much said it right there, Ellie. He's going to try to figure out how can he put his players in the best position. A lot of new players on that side of the football. He's going to try to figure out, okay, what does this player do well? How can we implement that into what we want to do from a philosophy standpoint while also not compromising the rest of the defense? I love the turnover on that side of the football with the personnel because it gives us so much more versatility. Whether you want to play a 30 front or 40 front, you want to use 2 linebackers inside, you want to use 1 linebacker. I love the fact that our defensive linemen / outside linebackers up front, they have versatility. So, a guy like Brandon Graham who may rush on the outside, we've seen Brandon also go inside and play 3 technique. In today's NFL, there's a lot of cross-training going on with the athletes. And so you have to be able to be multifaceted out there And defensive coordinators know that.
All right, we've been talking about the defense. We have linebacker Kyzir White at the podium.
How you guys doing?
Can you kind of take us through the big play and how you saw it?
I was just a hole player, and I was playing visual on the quarterback, and I seen it in his demeanor where he was going to go with the ball, and I just tried to sprint and make a play on it.
What did that mean to you to do that in Philadelphia?
Oh, man, everything, man. You know, first game, getting my feet wet, family and friends in attendance. So, I always want to go out there and put a show on. And, it felt good. It's definitely a great start for me, but I got to keep building and keep getting better each and every day.
How much family and friends was with you? I mean, was it like mom, dad, or what?
Yeah, nieces, nephews, brothers, sisters. Yeah, I got a big family, so they always going to come out, show support.
When you picked it, did you think you were going to take it back?
Yeah, I did. I got hawked. Then I tried to hit him with the stiff arm. He slapped it down, tackled me. I was a little mad about that, but it's all good.
How's the first?
It looked like a tough catch. I mean, it wasn't an easy catch, right? It looked like you kind of had.
Yeah, I think I bobbled it actually a little bit, but I was just glad I was able to, catch it for sure.
The first live reps, what does that mean to you, just the live environment?
Yeah, it's good, man. Going against, a different color, somebody else other than your teammates, and, just getting your feet back wet. It felt great out there, man, for sure.
Kyzir, I know it's just preseason, but how much is an emphasis on run defense and gap assignments and knowing where everybody's supposed to be in the front?
Yeah, it's big, man. You got to stay disciplined. You got to work your technique. I don't care if it's a preseason game. I treat every game. How I prepare for today is how I prepare for every game. So I don't look at it like it's just a preseason game. We playing football. It's me versus you. So.
Is that when you take something positive out of what you guys were able to do?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
How did you see it in the Kobe Dean tonight?
Oh, he was real physical in the run game. He was coming down, making a lot of plays in the box. He's not afraid to get it, get down and dirty in there. And he's a hell of a player for sure.
Good.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
That was linebacker Kyzir White, who picked off Zach Wilson earlier on in the game. New face in Philadelphia, but sure to make a big impact in that linebacking room. He was asked about Nakobe Dean, and he seems just as impressed by the rookie. Last week I asked TJ Edwards his thoughts on Nakobe Dean, and he said he's just an intellectual player. Ike, from your perspective, being in a linebacker room for many years, what does being a smart, intellectual player mean? How does that translate onto the football field?
Well, it should help you to minimize mistakes out there, false steps, bad reads, meaning when you read your keys, it can sometimes get you out of position, especially at this level when you get a lot of misdirection with offensive plays, fake handoffs, and things of that nature. So your film study and your pre-snap recognition is going to help you be in the right position and play faster. And it seems like Nakobe Dean is a student of the game, watches a lot of film, so he's going to be able to go out there and play instinctually.
All right, now we're going to hear from the vet, Brandon Graham.
How did it feel to get out there for the first time in almost a year, I guess?
Felt good, man. First play, TFL, man. Then, next play we catch a pick. Man, I'm just, it just was a surreal moment for me, man. Just being out for a year and then just make you appreciate it even more.
First live reps of the summer, PG. Obviously, you were out for so long. How did it feel to get back in that mix?
Oh, man, it felt good being with the guys. Just even being in the locker room before the game, it was just like, man, just that feeling when you know you're going to play a game. Because I used to be in that locker room just, getting the boys encouraged because I knew I wasn't going to play until the following season. So to be here now, just enjoying the moment.
What did Jordan Davis show you tonight?
You know what? Jordan been showing me a lot. Like, he just been building. Like I told him, it's about making sure that you're in the best shape you can for the season and just making sure you run into the ball. Just even seeing Nakobe. Nakobe, he been working his butt off in practice and just seeing him make plays out there today. I mean, and I'm happy for the young group because, you know, they want to listen, they want to learn, they want to keep getting better. And that's what you want guys to come in with a worker's mindset.
Can you tell with those guys, Jordan and Jacoby, that they sort of have a lot of reps together? You know, can you see the chemistry?
Oh, yeah, I see the chemistry. I think it was one play where I'm like, dang, Jordan missed them, but then Jacoby came up and cleaned it up. So it was just like, man, they playing that. They, you know, Georgia Bulldogs.
With all the new guys coming in on this defense, what type of personality you guys are trying to develop? Where do you see them?
You know what? Right now it's still early to tell because we really, I mean, that was our first time in action for real, and I mean, it was promising from what I've seen. But yeah, we trying to figure that out now. Figure out our identity. I mean, we see some stuff in practice already, but it's like now that we done played some live action today, go back and look at the film, and you know, obviously, it's always ways we can get better. But I do like the step that we taking right now, and then next week we're gonna really see when we playing against Cleveland in practice too.
Brandon, you're the oldest guy on the team now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is that like? What do the young guys call you now?
You know what? Old head, you know, the vet. I mean, whatever they want to call me, but I mean, how I feel. I mean, I feel like, you know, I still can, you know, lead the team and help the team, you know, win. And the guys I just try to make sure I be a great example for the guys, especially with a lot of guys that just respect just being here this long and, you know, just seeing me playing, you know, just hard every day, trying to make sure that I'm keeping up with the guys and making sure that I'm pushing them to be better too.
When Jalen took that hit on the sideline, Coach was hot.
We all was.
Hot. Yeah, what was that like?
You know, we just don't want nobody touching the quarterback. I mean, especially now. I mean, you know, and that was another thing too. You know, I just found out about Zach Wilson, and it's like I hate to see it happen like that to him. You know, especially coming in the preseason game. I know you was excited for the year, and then you know to go out the way he did. I mean, you know, you just don't want nobody to get hurt. But yeah, we ain't like that. We didn't like that Jalen got hit, and. But you know that's part of it. When you got your guys out there, everybody want to, you know, show their worth out there, and I mean it happens.
You've been around a long time, and you've seen various off seasons and new guys come in. Some have been hyped to be good, and some have been hyped to not be good. And you've seen preseason games when people come away thinking it's bad or good. How do you keep expectations kind of you know tempered after a game like, especially the way the first team performs?
Well, you know, you just got to make sure that you don't get too full of yourself no time in the season. I mean, our work will be done when we done pointing at that ring, saying we gonna get that ring after we, you know, to won the game in the big game. So we need to come every day like we trying to get somewhere. And I mean, just because we did some good one game, we can stink it up the next if we start smelling ourselves. And so I don't think we're going to have that, though, because we got too many guys that's been there, that understand it's a long road. We got to make sure we stay healthy, make sure that we, you know, take care of ourselves, take care of, you know, coach is going to take care of us in practice. We got to make sure we take care of them off the field, too, by making sure we do the preventatives, the stretching, the massages, making sure we're keeping our body right so we can be ready for our moment. And so, yeah, I mean, my mindset and our focus is just let's get better tomorrow. Let's be off tomorrow, but then after that, when we come back, let's get better because it's something that we can definitely work on that we probably didn't get hit on yet.
Brandon, I know it's natural to want to protect your quarterback, but is there anything with Jalen specifically that kind of engenders that amongst the team? Seems kind of quick to rally to get his back.
Because of the type of person he is. I mean, he's a great teammate, great person, and I mean, we got a lot of good guys on this team, man, that we all building to fight for. And Jalen is definitely one of them because he's already proven that he's going to be the guy doing it for us this year. And so we want to make sure we take care of him and protect him at all costs.
I imagine you were kind of anxious to make a play out there since it's been a while. I mean, what was the feeling like when you did make that TFL, especially early in the game?
It felt good because I can definitely hear the crowd on that one because I was, in my mind, I was like, man, what if I hope I get a sack or a TFL, and then bam, one of them came. And it was just on the first play at that, it just made me hungry to go and practice and just keep doing what I've been doing and just working hard and looking forward to, Cleveland now that we're going to practice with them. and then just get me ready for the game, man. Just trying to make sure that I'm available and ready for whatever my role is for this team. I just want to help them win.
BG, what was the biggest difference tonight in run defense compared to last year's preseason games? Last year, if you remember, they ran just as many running plays. You guys had total plays.
I mean, man, it's a new team. They're everybody different from. Every year it's always different. We always got new guys, but I think we got Howie did a great job, and we got a bunch of guys that's got a chip on their shoulder, I feel, and want to prove themselves. Like Kyzir tonight. I mean, he on a 1 year, and I'm sure he's trying to prove it this year for himself, and it's already looked promising for him because even in practice, I mean, you see him, he's everywhere. TJ Edwards, I mean, man, all them boys, man, like we got backers that's really downhill and definitely gonna clean up whatever we mess up.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next year, locker room's open.
Nick, you were pretty fired up after the late hit to Jalen. Did you kind of take us through what you were saying to Robert?
Well, I wasn't mad at Coach Sala. I was mad at the situation. I was more mad, obviously, at the player than Coach Sala. Coach Sala is a great guy. I got so much respect for him, and it was just emotions of the game. I was just sticking up for Jalen. I'll never apologize for sticking up for my players. I should have handled it a little bit better than what I did, but. Obviously didn't want that hit to happen on the sideline. I know it happens, and I know it's football, but I was more mad at the situation, not mad at Coach Sala. He and I talked after the game, and I wished him nothing but luck, and he did the same, and he's a friend. So, and I got a lot of respect for him.
Nick, what did you think of Jalen's decision to break the pocket on that?
Yeah, it was a good decision. Yeah.
You felt like
Yeah, and I got to watch the tape, but he's had a good feel of staying in and hanging in there and making the throws when he needs to make them. He did that tonight. I thought Jalen did a good job of, he was 6 for 6, perfect quarterback rating, and you're questioning one of his decisions to escape the pocket. I think that's kind of funny, but no. I just thought that he did a good job of staying in the pocket when he needed to stay in the pocket, making plays that way, escaping when he needed to make to escape. And then also, I thought he did a great job of running the offense and under complete control and getting us to the right checks. I'm just teasing you.
There was a sense of relief when you saw him pop right up after that hit, right?
I was just yelling, so I guess I didn't see him pop up.
What was the reaction among all the players on the sideline after the hit?
I imagine they were upset just like we were. And I know our players, we got each other's backs. This is a tight-knit group.
Does that affect your decision on whether you might play Jalen, the last two preseason games?
No, not at all. We'll do what we think's best for the team and those guys, and each case will be discussed individually, and we won't ever be scared to do something. You're gonna get hit. He got hit late out of bounds. Well, what's stopping somebody to hit him in the pocket? Like, it's football, and that won't play into our decision.
Nick, I know that you probably instinctually protect all of your players. Is there anything about Jalen that kind of specifically that brings that out of you? Sure,
yeah. I mean, he's our quarterback, right? And so, as an offensive coach and the head coach, you get close with your quarterback. I spend more time with him than any other player. In meetings, talking to him after meetings, everything. So, yeah, I mean, he's like, he's the one guy that my son and I have a handshake, and the same handshake is done with Jalen, and my son and Jalen are now doing it together as well. So him and I are close, and I just look forward to continuing to work with him.
Nick, what did you see from the rookies, particularly Jordan, Cam, and Jacoby?
Sometimes in the interior, you got to wait to see, watch the tape, wait to see what it is. But I thought it felt like we were on the same page in the protections. We were on the same page with the run points. I got to watch the tape. So that's on Cam. We had a false start that I'll have to iron out. But those are the little things that kill you, and when they're tight games, right? And so it cost us some points. So I got to see whose fault that was. But he did a nice job. And then, I thought Jordan did a good job eating up blocks, and I thought N'Kobe got to the football. I made a nice play when a guy came back, threw an ISO play, shed the blocker, and made the play. I got to watch the tape, but at first thought, I thought they did a good job.
You kind of see that they've played together before and the way that they operate on the
field? I think they've got that automatic connection, and but yeah, you can definitely see that and feel that. Same with I know Jalen and AJ have never played together as on a team, but they're close, and they aren't shy about telling each other what they're thinking, and they have that instant bond as well.
What did you think of the pass that he threw when he made it on the run? You like him making those? Can he do that on a consistent basis to make those passes on the run the way that the pass that he had to
the first play of the game?
Yeah, first play of the game.
Yeah, I think that's one of his strengths is to be able to escape the pocket and make big time plays. He, I thought we got a lot better at that as the season went on last year. I think about Washington. At Washington, he scrambles and hits Greg Ward for a big play on a third down. I think about in that same Washington game, him scrambling, hitting Goddard for a big play. He had a big one to Goddard in the Tampa Bay game. Like that, he sees the field nicely when he escapes from the pocket, and he creates explosive plays. When you're the number one team in explosive plays like we were last year, they're all going to come in different forms. I know a lot of them came in the run game, but some of the ones in our pass game that happened were when he extended the plays, and so that's a big time skill that he has.
Nick, what's your take on that drive that gave you the lead late, the 18-play drive? What did you see there?
It's hard to have 18-play drives, and so you want to hit explosive plays and be able to move the ball down the field because it's hard to be perfect for 18 plays. And it's not that you're perfect, but it's hard to put all those plays together. So, but it's a nice job. I'll have to watch the tape, but it was a nice job of them stringing that many plays together after a really rough third quarter. I mean, a really rough third quarter of three and out. Maybe was it 4 3 and outs in a row? And so to be able to go down and do that as an offense, I thought that was pretty good, especially after the third quarter they had and some of the ups and downs they had in that third quarter.
A couple more
downs.
It was only one series for the starters, but you threw the ball every play. Everyone was at the same.
Are you telling me to run the damn ball?
No, is that kind of what the offense has evolved into? Or?
Yeah, I wouldn't give any information out to that, but hey, we'll do what we need to do. We're working on some things, and we wanted to be able to coach off some things, and that's what we did today. We will, if we need to run the ball 20 times to start a game, we'll do that. If we need to pass the ball 20 times to start a game, we'll do that. We'll do whatever we need to do to win the game. But it was nice to see them go out there and execute when we were passing.
On the first and second-year players on defense, especially in the front seven, out there pretty early, first and second quarter. How do you think they played?
Yeah, I thought we did a nice job. The defense was running around. You really felt them running around and getting to the football and strip attempts and everything like that. I thought that, I just thought the energy was high. And that's how you want your defense to fly around. Again, we'll have to watch the tape and see how everybody did individually. But it's nice when you get those young guys in and get them some meaningful reps. And, we were able to do that tonight.
On the first drive, I know you're not game planning this time of year, but was that a sort of conscious effort to get a bunch of people involved, or is that just Jalen going to where the coverage
that was really Jalen going where the coverage took him. We have an idea of where the ball might go based off the coverages the teams play, but that's the beauty of the offense. You want to put the guys in position to make plays, but that doesn't necessarily mean the defense is going to play what you thought every time. So we like getting everybody involved. There's no doubt, and it makes you harder to defend. And but yeah, it was nice to see him spread it around this early tonight.
All right, we got Jalen coming right in.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, questions for Jalen.
Pretty good first drive, Jalen. How did it feel to you?
I think it was good to go out there, get everybody, have opportunity and play. We've been working really hard this fall camp, still in the beginning phases of things, but just to go out there and execute is really big for us. So good job to the guys out there. Good job to everybody that had the opportunity to go out there and play today.
What about the hit out of bounds? I mean, what did you think about that? Did you see anything from the Jets?
It happens. I mean, I let y'all say whatever. He hit me late. They called the flag. We moved on.
What did it mean to see all your teammates kind of rally to your side, though?
Yeah, I think that's what we're about. In the end, I think that's us having each other's backs, and that's Philly. That's Coach Sirianni. That's Jordan Mailata. That's Kelsey. That's some of the defensive guys. JG. It's everybody.
You got a lot of people involved in the first drive. Was that sort of a conscious effort, or is that just going where the coverage takes the football?
Just going out there and playing ball. I've always talked about the trust I have to everybody on the field. So just going through my progressions, doing my job, and let my playmakers make plays.
How was your communication with Cam?
Cam? You know, Cam's come in and done a really good job. He has so much ability. He can run. He's very smart. And I know he's early on in it, being a rookie, but he's shown so much. And for me, it's just been a diligent process, just making sure we're all on the same page, whether it be the snap count, how we're IDing something, how we're seeing the game, making sure we're on the same page. But I'm excited for Cam.
Jalen, on the play that led to the late hit, can you kind of take us through that? Was there somebody you were looking for? What was kind of as much as you could say about the need and what you were looking to do?
I was just getting flushed out of the pocket. End up running to the sideline. He hit me late. I'm not tripping about it. So.
Did you think the nature of it being a preseason guy, as you're headed out of bounds, did you see him coming? Or you thinking he's not going to really hit me? Or were you kind of bracing for it?
I'm very pleased to be talking about this hit. If this is the biggest takeaway from the night, then.
It's just rare in a preseason game to see that, and obviously your coach was very fired up and was yelling at the other coach.
Well, yeah, you definitely don't want to come out here in these games and take hits, let alone a late hit like that. But it happened. I'm not tripping about it. It happens. I'm healthy. I'm fine. I got right back up and played the next play.
I think we were a little surprised that A.J. Brown didn't get any targets. I don't know if there was anything fault in the huddle for A.J. after the camp. You see you go to him quite a bit. Did you have anything dialed up for him to go to?
It just didn't go his way tonight. It's okay. He'll get his.
Did you feel like you got in a rhythm going 6 for 6 during that drive?
I'm sorry?
Do you feel like you got into a good rhythm going 6 for 6 on that drive?
Well, I think in general we talk about the importance of explosive plays. When you come out the gate with an explosive play down the field, great catch by Quez, that can get a drive going. So overall, I was just pleased to see everybody go out there, execute, and do their jobs for the first group, and then just get it in the end zone. That was the goal.
There was a big throw to Jack Stoll on that drive. Can you talk about the development from him at this time last year as a rookie free agent on that?
Yeah, Jack is another guy that has shown up so much. Knows what to do, does it at a high level. He just keeps getting better and better. So he's going to be a guy that'll make plays for us.
Your ability to make those throws on the run, does that make you a more dangerous quarterback from your own perspective? When you make those plays?
I believe so. I think in hindsight, I think there are a lot of guys in the league that do a lot of special things from the pocket. And I think I can do those things. There aren't too many guys in the league that can do the things that I can do in terms of extending plays, throwing on the run, getting freaky, getting down the field, making plays with my legs, running the ball. So I think that definitely adds the extra dynamic to my game. And my whole approach has always been, regardless if it's throwing, running, my communication, my leadership, like take a step and get better at it. I'm always in the process of getting better. always in the process of getting better. And that's the approach that I take day by day.
So these preseason games where you can spend most of the game with the headset, kind of hearing how the game is called. I mean, what can you take away from that, if anything?
I think the one takeaway I have from it is just the natural maturation process and hearing those conversations, hearing how the coaches are truly seeing the game, how they see it unfold before their own eyes, and that's helpful for me because I'm the one on the field. So it was definitely cool to be in those conversations, talk about what we would have done here in certain situations. Seeing the defense, just going through it. It's fun to go out there and play the game we love, coach the game we love, and be a part of it. So it was a fun night.
That's on it at the hit being such a big takeaway. I guess for you personally, what was the biggest takeaway of the way you played?
Not about me. Just obviously the energy of our guys going out there and playing. It's always good to see the first group go out there and execute at a really high level. And then the fans, you talk about that fourth quarter when Reed's at quarterback, and that's a drive to go potentially win the game. I know they end up scoring. But the fans, they're doing waves. They're enthused throughout the whole entire deal in it, and everybody was excited when we scored. So just seeing that for a preseason game, it's wonderful. And I know we won't be back in the link until Monday night versus the Vikings, but that's noted, and I'm excited for that. But obviously we take it day by day. But just the enthusiasm of the fans, that was really cool to see.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, everyone.
That was quarterback Jalen Hurts. I want to go back to what Kyzir White said at the podium about how he doesn't care it's the preseason, it's football, and he's taking it super seriously. And then Brandon Graham followed that up with how surreal it felt for him returning from an injury, putting those shoulder pads back on. He's a 13-year vet. To hear him sit up there and talk about how much preseason football means to him is important for a locker room because you have older guys taking it so seriously. But when you think about younger guys who are fighting for a job, how important were these reps tonight, Ike?
Oh, very important. I mean, you're trying to get evaluated. You're trying to catch the coach's eye. And certainly you get opportunities out there in practice. But we all know it's about how you play when the lights come on. So as a young player, and most of these young players, whether they were undrafted, whether they drafted late, they were pretty much one of the star players on their teams in college, as we all were in college. It just so happens once you get to this level, they're all stars.
Whole new ball game.
Exactly, it's a whole new ball game. So to get out there in the preseason and get some live reps, it's an opportunity to show that you belong. So I guarantee you. Now, it's refreshing to hear Brandon say it because Brandon took a year off. He's a vet, and he also knows how he's had to persevere through his career to get to where he's at. And for young players, you can't wait to the next preseason game. And see, now it's set up to where you know most of the vets aren't going to play in the next couple of preseason games. So as a young player, you're saying, all right, I'm going to get an opportunity to go out there and show what I can do, and that's how you make the team. We obviously know you got to play special teams, but also when you're the backup, you're one play away from being the starter. It's important that you can show, whether it's offense or defense, the coaches, your assignment. They can rely on you. You're going to play tough. You're going to play the brand of football that they want to see played out there. And the only way you can show them that is in the games.
And it was just interesting hearing from all of those players consecutively because some of them talked about their motivations going into that game. And for Kyzir White, this is his first chance playing in a new defense. Hey, this is where I can prove myself. I belong with this team. When you look at the rookies, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Cam Jurgens, you go down the list, all these guys, hey, I can belong in this league. Brandon Graham, I want to see how my Achilles feels. I already done it in practice. Now let's go out. He said I wanted to get a TFL or a sack. I got the TFL on the first play. I was really happy with that. All these guys have something to prove, and you get a little bit of a sense of all their motivations going into this game.
Well, we all loved that opening drive with the first-team offense. So earlier tonight, Fran broke down that opening touchdown from Jalen Hurts to Dallas Goedert.
All right, so for our very first Ricoh review of the 2022 season, let's take a look at the touchdown the Eagles score on the first drive of the preseason. Touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts to tight end Dallas Goedert. Exactly how did this come to be? Well, it's a great zone beater from the Eagles offense against a staple zone coverage of this Robert Saleh defense. Remember, Robert Saleh, he comes from Seattle, from the Legion of Boom days, where they love to run cover 3. And that's exactly what the Jets are going to run here. You've got the single high safety in the middle of the field, and you have all the corners on the outside, both corners dropping to the deep third. So you've got cover 3, 3 deep defenders. That means your 4 underneath defenders are going to spread out along the sideline, along the width of the field. Now, there are 2 defenders that the Eagles need to beat on this route from Dallas Goedert, because what he's going to do, he's going to run a corner route. So the Eagles have to account for the cornerback on this side, he's going deep, and the underneath defender dropping into this area of the field, because again, this is where Dallas Goedert is going to attack. So what do the Eagles do? You've got a 3-man route concept. This is a concept that is commonly known as scissors. You're going to have A.J. Brown on short motion. He's going to release up the field and work to the post. The goal of this route is to take this corner with him. So when that corner drops back, he's going to see A.J. Brown working up the field, and he's going to carry that over the top. So that removes this corner. So now the Eagles have to account for this underneath defender. To do that, they're going to take Miles Sanders, and they're just going to run him to the flat. And that's going to take the eyes of this underneath defender in zone coverage. That's going to open things up for Dallas Goedert in the intermediate part of the field on this corner route. So we can let this run and watch. Here comes the short motion from A.J. Brown. He's going to work in close to the formation. It's going to give you a little bit of a run look for the defense, and more importantly, bring that corner a little closer. And again, just look at how wide open Dallas Goedert is. Outstanding job from Jalen Hurts, hitting Goedert in time. Goddard does a great job getting into the end zone there. Eagles get on the board. They jump out to a 7-0 lead on the opening drive. Just an outstanding start for this Eagles offense.
That'll do it for us, the first post-game show, guys. Like riding a bike. We're back.
Back in the saddle. Excited for it.
Back in the saddle. Well, it's joint practice week. The Eagles have 2 more practices here at the NovaCare Complex, and they're on the road. A few practices with Cleveland, and we'll wrap up with preseason game number 2 against the Browns next Sunday, August 21st at 1 p.m. We'll be here on the kickoff show. We'll have you covered at 12:15. But for myself, Fran Duffy, and Ike Reese, we'll see you next time.